called me one day and he was like, dude, I just gave my life to Christ. And I was like, Daniel, like, what are you talking about? Like, I was sitting next to you in church this morning. Like, we're like, we should be good.
Yeah.
And he laid out the gospel. And it was something I heard a million times, but this time it clicked. It was, I'll never forget it. He still drives his blue truck. So I love that blue truck because that's where the Lord really met me. Um, so he presented the gospel and it finally like flip of a switch. Like I understand
Yeah.
like what this means now. So, and it was really cool because like in the moment when Daniel was presenting the gospel, it was like the Lord like was speaking to me of like it was like I was cornered, but the Lord did it in such a loving way, and He was like, "You have to make a decision. Like
Mm.
either like say what you're saying and live for me, or depart from me." Um,
Yeah.
and so that was the day that like I said, He met me. I was so fortunate enough 23 years later, after knowing head knowledge, that I gave my life to Christ. And from there, that's when like discipline really like started showing up in my life. So it was fun, man. It was
Yeah.
it was I've never felt. I know it's not about emotion and feelings, but like I felt every emotion and feeling in about a 15-minute period. It was awesome. So it was good. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for what the Lord did in my life.
Nice. And so, how did your life change after that?
Man, I can't remember the verse off the top of my head, but it was I think it's in, I want to say Isaiah, about removing your heart of God, removing your heart of stone and giving you a heart of
Mm.
flesh. Like there was I never understood like the fruits of the spirit either, and it was like once that happened, like you could see stuff. I could see fruit actually growing.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like it got to be really strategic of like being like, okay, I'm a believer and I'm going to live in a house full of Kappa Sigs at the time, and like I would talk with buddies and we're like, all right, this is how we're going to infiltrate their house and they're all going to come to Christ. And there was actually one guy who gave his life to Christ in that house, so we were like, that's a win, that's a win.
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. So, was Kappa Sig like a Christian fraternity or
no,
no?
notoriously they were notorious for being the complete opposite of that. So it was one of those things. I needed a place to live, and I knew one of the guys, and they were just like, "Come on!" And I was like, "Well, this is the perfect, ministry opportunity."
Yeah.
Um, and like before, it was more so like, why did I not want to go share the gospel? Like there was
Mm.
just no like drive. And then after giving my life to Christ, like all these things that the Lord talks about, like kind of falling in place. And this one was more. The one was finally there to like I was just so like giddy, I guess you could say, about like talking about Jesus, that like it was kind of oozing out of me. Not that
Yeah.
I'm doing anything incredible. I mean, I'm just sharing what the Lord did to me, and what the Lord did on the cross, and people were receptive to that at the time. So it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's so funny because it's like a perfect summation of your personality to me. Like you're definitely the person who is like, I will go and do the most uncomfortable thing. I
Yeah.
will. It doesn't matter who is there. My mission is above all else, and whenever I go to this, I'm going to do
Yeah.
what I feel the Lord is calling me to do. And it's always so funny that you don't have that intimidation factor, or it's never an option of you being converted or like pulled away from the Lord by someone else. Like you could go into the darkest place and you're always a light there. There's never a chance or a thought that you're going to somehow be corrupted by what you're surrounded by.
Well, dude, that really means a lot, because sometimes I feel like I'm an idiot half the time when I go into these situations. But again, that I don't think that's anything that I'm doing. I think it's just the Lord He's put this protective shield around me to be like, all right, you're mine, and I'm gonna keep you mine
Yeah.
forever. So, but also like I've had the conviction for a while now. It's like we go into these situations, especially in America, where I don't think we realize what persecution really is, because I don't think we've actually experienced it. So, like,
Hmm.
are we scared to just bring conversation up, or like, because like the worst thing that's going to happen is someone's not going to be my friend, and like that's I'd rather that than be murdered. So, like,
Yeah.
like
Say mean things about me on Twitter all you want. Just don't kill
exactly,
me.
exactly. Like, and again, if it came down to that, like. I'm just saying like the risk factor's not there. Like if it came down to like if I was in a foreign country and died for my faith, it's like well then I did what I was supposed to do. I was faithful to the end. Um, but I don't think we have an excuse. I mean, again, we're dealing with oh you're going to talk bad behind my back. Like I don't really care at the end of the day.